Okay, this is Ransom1690 back here with another thorough video. And I just had to rant about that fucking YouTube shit again, cause man, that really pisses me off, but I'm not gonna tread back down that again. But I'm gonna talk about a topic that I've been really thinking about a lot since last month. And it's this whole bullshit going on with Donald Trump and ever since he got back in the office. So I recently watched a video from Christy Brook. I think that's her YouTube name. And like normally she makes Christian deconstruction videos and all of that type of stuff, and I do watch her quite a bit. But she started making more political stuff about what's going on in the White House and what Donald Trump has been up to. Because I guess he's been on some bullshit lately. And she got into detail about some of the stuff he was doing. And to kind of run down some of what I can remember, I guess he's been in there like trying to raise tariffs, which has something to do with making prices more expensive. I know that's something that I have talked to my sister about too, because she's the first one to actually bring that up to me. And it's like, as if stuff isn't already expensive enough, just but just not with that, just only with that, but other stuff too, like how he's kind of been trying to be on some one world government type shit, trying to dismantle the checks and balances between the White House and the Senate and all of that, and just trying to reallocate all the power to himself. What else? What else? Dismantling Medicare and Medicaid and some other type of shit that has to do with this war going on over there in Ukraine, and how he's just kind of blabbering his mouth and saying not so smart shit. And just to name quite a bit of stuff. Now, I'm not really a political person. When I was younger, like maybe 19 years old, I did try to keep up with politics and try to stay tuned in and follow all of that shit. And, I may get ripped on for this, but, I used to be a subscriber of of Alex Jones, and I know he has kind of had a bad reputation of being a kook recently. But I mean, yeah, I used to try to keep up with some politics in the day, but it's like I stopped because I just started thinking, like, what's the point of trying to keep up with all this? Because when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter, at least in my opinion. Like, I just gotta really emphasize that real strongly. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how informed you are. Now, it's good to be informed. I'm not saying be ignorant, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter how much you know about what's going on in the government, or who you vote for, or like, how you try to, well, I'm not going to say don't protest, but for me, just keeping up with all of that is meaningless. It's just become meaningless to me, because when you think about it, every single president we get, it's the same story each time. Like, when they're competing against other candidates to get into office, they're all talking about, oh, what they're gonna do for the country and how they're going to, work for the people, this and that, and then, a whole lot of people get pumped up for it. Maybe the other side, I don't really fucking keep up with this Republic and Democratic side, but I don't know. Maybe either one of those sides, they're either for it or they're against it. But it all ends the same every single way. Like, as soon as we get a new president and they stay in office for a while and they ain't really doing exactly what the people who voted him in thought they was going to do, then they start saying like, oh, this president sucks. Or, oh, he shit. Oh, he ain't did nothing. The same thing that's happening with Donald Trump happened with fucking Obama. When he first ran for president, what was everyone saying? Well, this was mainly in the black community, but the people who I knew was talking about, like, oh yeah, the first black president, he gonna really work for us, this and that. And then he stay in office for a while. And then people start saying, like, their opinions change because I guess so he ain't really living up to the expectation that he presented of himself when he was running for office. And now a lot of people's like, oh man, yeah, Barack Obama sucked, man, get this guy out of office. He don't know what the fuck he doing. And it's like, we're gonna have that no matter what, because when it comes down to it, these fucking politicians, these presidents, they don't fucking care about any one of us, man. They don't give a shit about any one of us. And I know we have this notion or this whole belief here in America that our voices matter or our votes matter. And that's what Christian Brook, I hope I'm pronouncing her name all right, but that's what she was saying when she was addressing the issues about Donald Trump in her video, that how we need to go out and vote and call our representatives and just really push the matter about what's going on in office. Because I guess Donald, this president we got now, like, he's really trying to screw us all over. And it's like, she actually talked about how she called her representative like a couple of times and they just kept blowing her off. And one of the things she said is that, just, I guess, expressing how in disbelief she was that someone who we the people voted for to represent us is just kind of giving us the middle finger like that. And I'm like, personally, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because think about it this way. When we vote these people into these kinds of positions to represent us, that already means that we lost. Because just think about how that's phrased. We need these people to represent us. So really, they got more of the power. I know, like, we've been taught in schools that, oh, we got the power. We got the power to decide who gets in the office. But we ain't really got no power like that. So these people don't got to listen to us once they get in the office, once they get what they want and is able to do what they want, like what Donald Trump is doing now. They don't have to fucking listen to us. It's exactly like what I just said. We need them to represent us. They don't need us. I mean, well, for the most part, so it's like, that's probably what they think. It's like, man, get your ass on somewhere. It's like, you can't tell me what the fuck to do. And it's like, I remember watching a video about I used to watch Big Herc a couple of years ago, and he made a really wise statement. Now, it was pertaining more to law and to hiring a lawyer, but I think it can apply to this as well, that, nobody should be representing you. And he said that, when you need a representative, when you need someone to represent you and to represent your rights, it means the definitions of the court system, that you're a buffoon, that you're a fool, and that you really don't know anything. So it's like, if you really knew what was up, you wouldn't need anyone to represent you like that. And I wholeheartedly agree. And I think the same thing can be applied to this whole political mess. It's like the fact that we even need representation from these people is already crazy in and of itself. If we, the people, really had the power, we wouldn't need no fucking congressman or no president or no one representing us, just to be frank. But because this is what our system has been built on for centuries at this point, it is the way it is, and we're just unfortunate enough to be born into this shit. Me personally, I think our system is outdated, when considering the fact that how it was first set up into place by people who thought that it was okay to still own slaves based on their skin color. So, really just saying it's outdated is an understatement at this point. But I'm not going to even pretend, I'm going to be for real. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I have an answer to this sort of situation, because for this to change, the whole entire system needs to be revamped from the ground up, which is impossible. At least in my opinion, I think it's impossible at this point in time. Like, everyone in the country would need to be on board for this. And then just for this whole system to be changed to something more fair for the people, like, I think it would be a lot of unrest, and it would it would cause our country to go into disarray and lead to another slew of potential threats, national security threats, and just civil unrest. So it's like, in order for that to happen without a collapse taking place, I don't know, but since this is the system that we're in, and we need these crooked politicians to work for us and to represent us, it's like, yeah, we can try to go out to vote, we can try to march, protest, or voice our concerns to these representatives, but just know that these people are in a position to where they don't have to listen to us, because I'm not gonna, we didn't give them that much power. It was just unfortunate to be set up that way prior to us being born, but it is what it is, unless one of us majors in political matters or whatever and tries to enter into the whole, political field ourselves. It ain't really nothing we can do. I don't think, man. And that's why I say that, antinatalism is just the best answer to all of that. So we don't got to deal with crooked politicians screwing us all over, taking away our health benefits, taking away our health care, allocating more riches to, more money to the wealthy, because I guess that's another thing Donald Trump is doing. He's fucking putting wealthy people into office and just trying to allocate more money to them instead of helping out the common people. And it's like, man, that's just how it's gonna be, because that's exactly how the system is set up, and just it really doesn't make sense. Like, thinking about it again, how the hell are we, the people, gonna have the power to put, to supposedly decide, how we want to be represented, and we need these motherfuckers like that. I can't wrap my mind around that. That's basically like me being on benefits. It's like, oh yeah, I'm on benefits and I have power to my finances, but I need a representative paid. Then you don't got no power. You can't fucking say that we have a democracy and we have power and control when we need a third party to speak for us. That doesn't make sense. That's, that just, it doesn't make sense. So I don't really follow all of that shit anymore. I still think it's important to know. I think what Donald Trump doing is full of shit. And, I can only foresee it getting worse. But that's why I say, like, man, just the only way that I can foresee to all of this, the only solution, realistic solution, other than what I was talking about earlier, just dismantling the infrastructure of what's going on in our Senate and all of that, which isn't gonna happen. Other than doing that, which isn't gonna happen, and it's gonna lead to political and civil unrest. The best way to avoid all of this, at least for future generations to avoid dealing with this kind of crooked bullshit, is to just not reproduce. Just don't fucking bring kids into this world to have to deal with this kind of bullshit. I really think antinatalism is really just the only option at this point, because it doesn't matter. It's like every one of these politicians and these presidents, like, they're all fucking lying when they say that they want to help us, or whatever the fuck they say when they get all up on the microphone and rallying people up. They're fucking lying. Like, it should be blatantly obvious at this point. They're just saying whatever they think we want to hear just so they can get in the office, and then they gonna start doing whatever they fucking want. And then what happens after that? Oh man, this guy sucks, man. We need to get him out of office. Like I said, and I mentioned at the beginning that when I did used to keep up with politics, that I was following. I used to be Alex Jones follower. Now, I'm not really much of an Alex Jones follower anymore, of course, but just thinking about how things are going now, I'm inclined to actually believe that some of what Alex Jones said in a day is kind of true. Like, when he was talking about a one world government, or our government working to execute martial law, or eventually put everyone into FEMA camps and shit like that. I know it kind of sounds crazy now, just thinking about it, But it's like, just considering the shit that's going on with Donald Trump, it's like I'm actually inclined to sort of believe he was right about that. And like, just what makes me further say that is with this, what happened to Christian Brew when she went to protest and confront her representative about, I guess, just kind of giving her the cold shoulder and lying about the whole Medicare situation and shit. And she posted a video where she was actually removed. And I didn't watch that one yet, but, you know, I only read the title. But it's like, something like that happened a long time ago when Barack Obama was in office. And like, of course, conveniently, you can't find the video now, but it was like this guy who got up and he had, like, it was, I don't remember what kind of conference or whatever it was, but this civilian got up and asked Barack Obama if he was in the, like, a secret society or the Skull and Bones or some shit like that. And security instantly grabbed him and tased him, and like, you just heard him getting tased and him saying like, yo, don't tase me and shit. And it's like, just considering stuff like that, how like they can just remove you or just tase you and shit because you ask a question or bring up some valid points. It's like, does it really sound like these people are gonna listen to us? No, it don't. You know, and like, I know that what I'm saying is kind of doomer. I mean, well, this is a doomer channel for the most part, but like, I know it's really defeatist sounding, but it's the truth. You know, this isn't fucking the 1700s anymore where, you know, people can just revolt like that and have a chance of winning. I don't think it is anyway. It's like, you know, we can't, I mean, we can try to have a revolution, but I don't really foresee it doing anything other than getting a lot of people killed, because it's not like now these people, like, they got fucking SWAT teams and just armed forces and shit that they can just you know, sick on the people, and like, just, it's a wrap. It's a wrap at that point. It's like, I don't, unless we have manpower or you know, just training or armed forces that's equivalent to theirs, then I don't foresee us really getting anywhere. You know, so I just don't keep up with this shit anymore. You know, it's a waste of time to me. You know, I still tune in every now and then, but for the most part, I'm just focused on coping with my own life, because just either way you look at it, these people are not going to work for us. They're not going to support us in the way that we need, you know. And that's just all there is to it. You know, I mean, for people who like still want to try to vote or protest or this and that, I mean, go for it. You know, I'm not gonna say don't do it. I'm not doing it. I've never voted, but I mean, for people who want to do that and actually believe they have a chance of it working, then, you know, I mean, I would love to be proved wrong. Or I would really love to be proved wrong on that one. You know, I'm not being a smart ass when I say that. Like, I genuinely would like for things to change, but just with the way things are now, with the way our presidency, our government is now, I don't really foresee that really happening. So all we can do, or at least what I'm doing, is I'm just hoping that it doesn't fucking get worse in my time, you know. And of course, I'm not gonna bring any kids here to deal with this bullshit. So, you know, that's a plus. You know, that's another thing I want to get into too. You know, it was this video Animosity made where he says some of the same things, but like he really emphasizes just the stupidity of bringing kids here in this hell realm with the whole political bullshit going on. And it's like, at the end of it, he says that you know, why would you want to bring kids here? Because, oh, so they can solve the problem? Because I guess that's what some people believe, that, oh, well, these future generation can be the future solutions to our problems. And he say, like, man, get up out of here with that. Because it's like, why should someone else have to come here to solve a problem that wasn't their issue to begin with? On top of the majority of the parents not really being good parents in that way, to where they educate their kids or teach them in a way to where they can have a chance to do that. So it's like, just like the parents is being a wage slave, or like just following the status quo of going to work and just abiding by the system, then they more than likely